I watched the entire Lord of the Rings saga in one day. And we're only halfway through it. The Hobbit trilogy, done. Lord of the Rings trilogy, up next. Let's go. At this point in the day, the need for energy is real. So I grab a can of C4, not the explosive device, but the pre-workout. And it's time to sit back and relax and enjoy one of my favorite trilogies. It's really easy for me to enjoy these movies, but I will admit my head was starting to feel kind of weird. I had just finished looking at this screen for almost 8 hours, so I think mentally my brain was being stretched just to keep watching. I knew this was my last chance to see sunlight before the long haul of the trilogy. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Oh! The Fellowship of the Ring is done. We have officially kicked off the Lord of the Rings trilogy with Fellowship of the Ring, and all I can say is, wow, what a start. Fellowship is awesome. The attention to detail and the amount of world building that goes into making Fellowship is incredible. And for a movie that is 2 minutes short of being 3 hours long, it does not feel long at all.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
There he is.
Please.
There he is.
But seriously, this movie jumpstarts all of the momentum going into the trilogy. You have so much backstory, so much character development. Honestly, I can't think of too many things to complain about. Of course, some of the CG is a little outdated. This movie came out in 2001, but the amount of practical effects in this movie, I mean, there's enough to choke a horse. You've got real people inside of real costumes. They're on a real set, real props. Everything is just real. The amount of love and attention to detail they put into practical effects, I mean, it has an effect on me. So, we're going to go ahead and continue. Two Towers is up next. It's starting to get late, so I put some leftovers in the microwave. I've got some pork tenderloin and steamed potatoes.
Potatoes! Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I'm really trying to not get too comfortable here on the couch. I do not want to fall asleep after having made it this far. Also, Sammy came back to finish off the Two Towers and to keep me company.
I came back.
It's 11:30 at night right now. We just finished the Two Towers, so to speed things up, I'm going to review the Two Towers in 60 seconds or less. Can it be done? We're about to find out. You ready, Sammy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna hit the timer right now. Okay, so the Two Towers is a great sequel. The development of the characters that we saw in the first movie, fantastic. But they also introduce a lot of new characters. Rohan, amazing. I love everything Rohan. As a child, I wanted to be a Rohirrim. I wanted a horse. I wanted the green armor. I wanted to be one of them. Gollum, he's hilarious. Everyone loves him. But he makes an interesting dynamic. He challenges Sam. He challenges Frodo. Gollum is good. The Battle of Helm's Deep. It's like 45 minutes long, but it's amazing. It might be the best cinematic battle ever made. We'll wait and see about that. And the March of the Ents, also great. I have 15 seconds left. The things that could be different about the Two Towers. It's a little bit slow. It could maybe cut some of that time out. Let's see, I have 5 seconds. The need to explain more about the supernatural beings of Lord of the Rings. Time! Did I get it? Did I get it in under 60 seconds? I'm pretty sure I did. Sweet. Let's move on. It's now time to watch one of my favorite movies ever made, The Return of the King. I have a lot of nostalgia over this movie since I watched it a ton as a kid. But the challenge of getting through these last couple of hours is really starting to set in. Sammy fell asleep pretty quickly after starting the movie, but I made sure to persevere. I really did enjoy the movie like I always do. My energy is almost completely gone at this point, but the movie is just so awesome that I just couldn't give up now. It's currently 2:50 in the morning. Return of the King is now over, and that's pretty much how I'm feeling right now, but I am here to say some things about the third piece of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The best piece. the most magnificent piece. And so what I think I'm going to do is, instead of forming thoughts this early in the morning, what I'm going to do is just say some words that I think describe this movie. So let's do that now. Words that come to mind when I think of this movie are epic, awesome, amazing, fantastic, scale, scope, development, action-packed, that's 2 words, conclusion, complete. Oh, she's stirring. I think she's waking up. Amazing. Did I use that word already? Emotional. Sammy, any words come to mind when you think of Return of the King?
Long
Yeah.
and good. That's it.
And that'll do it.
Before we continue with the video, I need you to do 3 things. First, like the video. Second, subscribe to the channel. Third, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Also, I gave away a special prize because someone commented on the last video. So, be on the lookout in future videos for special prizes like that. Okay, let's move on. It's now 3:20 in the morning. I have been awake for 21 hours. This has been a very interesting experience for me. But we are going to push on. We're going to push through. And I'm going to do a recap of the Lord of the Rings trilogy as best as humanly possible at 3 in the morning. Let's get into it. I have been a diehard fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy since I was a kid. I've been watching these movies for 20 years now. I turned 25 next month, so yeah, pretty much 20 years I've been watching these movies. I actually remember seeing Return of the King in theaters with my brothers and my dad, and that being one of the most unique experiences at the movie theater for me as a kid. But what is it about the trilogy that makes me want to watch it every single year? There's not a lot of movies, there's not a lot of trilogies that make people want to sit down and enjoy them over and over again. So why is The Lord of the Rings different? I believe the reason behind the success of the Lord of the Rings trilogy comes down to the person who is driving the ship. This project was Peter Jackson's baby from start to finish, top to bottom. He had the vision, he had the screenplay, he had the writing, he had the literature to pull from, and with all those pieces, he was able to create a cinematic masterpiece, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. The casting, also phenomenal. Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Viggo Mortensen, Christopher Lee, Andy Serkis, Sean Bean, Sean Astin. The list just goes on and on and on. Also, the soundtrack? Need I say more? Every piece of music plays a role in the storytelling, in the emotions, in the way that we hear the story, not just see it, but hear the story. You also get a masterclass in cinematography. The way that they balance the height differences between men and dwarves and hobbits, the incredible landscape shots that were achieved, and just the overall design and artwork that went into creating the visuals for this trilogy, they are definitely memorable. I think Return of the King is one of the best movies ever made. It's got to be in the top 10, right? It's got to be. If you don't think Return of the King is top 10, we need to have a conversation. And I might be a little biased towards the trilogy because I grew up watching it and have seen it so many times. However, every time I watch this movie, I walk away with a different perspective on a character, a different take on maybe a story arc or a design element. Each movie has so much detail, has so much complexity that you have to watch it every year or else you're going to miss out. So here are my ratings. Fellowship of the Ring, 9.3. The Two Towers, a solid 9. Return of the King, 9.7. Well, that's going to do it for me on what felt like the world's longest day. And I only watched the theatrical cut. I didn't even watch the extended edition. Oh my gosh. That is going to do it for the Lord of the Rings marathon. I can officially say that I have seen all 6 movies in a row in 24 hours. And I think that is an accomplishment. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the series. If you have a favorite movie, character, song, line of dialogue, outfit, literally anything goes. Also, let me know if there is another series or another marathon that you recommend that I should watch, because I may watch it. And I know I could talk about this series all day long, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. It's been great. It's been fun. It's been great fun. All right, bye.